Chiefs Kingdom, listen up, because what just happened in Kansas City is not a quiet off-season story. It is a full-blown reconstruction. The front office has been making moves at a pace that would make your head spin. Travis Kelce just signed. Patrick Mahomes is already throwing again. And the offensive line? It's getting a serious overhaul. Every decision being made right now is shaping what the 2026 season will look like. And whether the Chiefs come back as contenders or spend another year watching the playoffs from their couch. If you are a true member of Chiefs Kingdom, you need to stay locked in for this one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. Because we are going to break all of this down piece by piece, with the real numbers, the real context, and zero fluff. Let's start with the trenches, because that is where championships are built, and where the Chiefs had one of their most embarrassing problems last season. Jawaan Taylor was released. That's not speculation, that's confirmed. The Chiefs brought him in on a big deal, and what they got back was one of the most disappointing performances at right tackle in recent memory. He struggled in pass protection, was inconsistent in the run game, and cost this team in critical moments. Brett Veach made the decision and moved on. Smart call. Now, the name that was circulating heavily in the lead-up to free agency was Rasheed Walker, the former Green Bay Packers left tackle, who just hit the open market. And here is what makes this interesting, because the real story about Walker is actually different from what a lot of people were saying. Walker is a legitimate starting tackle. He spent 4 years in Green Bay, started 52 of 55 possible games including playoffs over the last 3 seasons, and logged nearly 3,000 offensive snaps. That is not a backup. That is a working, reliable starting tackle. His specialty was pass protection, where he ranked as high as second in pass block win rate in a single season. In a world where Patrick Mahomes is coming back from a torn ACL and LCL, protecting the knee is the #1 job for the offensive line. Walker does that. But here is where the story gets really interesting. Walker was projected to get big money. Some analysts had him pegged at $20 million per year. One projection had him at $82 million over 4 years. He was ranked as the top remaining free agent on the board heading into the new league year. And what actually happened? He signed a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers for a max value of $10 million. The market pushed back hard on tackle pricing this offseason. Teams simply refused to pay what was expected, and Walker, despite being arguably the best tackle available, ended up taking far less than anticipated to put himself in position to re-enter the market next year. What does this mean for the Chiefs? It means if they had serious interest in Walker, the price was absolutely there to get him done. Whether Kansas City pivots to another option, an internal solution like Josh Simmons getting a full shot at the left tackle spot, or targets someone from the draft with their 9 picks. Yes, 9 picks. They have options. The Jawaan Taylor era is over, and the rebuild of the offensive line is happening right now. With Mahomes coming back from a major knee surgery, this is not optional. It is the most urgent need on the roster. Now let's talk about the moment that made the entire Chiefs Kingdom exhale. Travis Kelce is back. Official. Signed. Done. And the contract structure? It is actually a masterclass in how to build a deal that works for everyone. Here are the real numbers. Kelce signed what is effectively a 3-year deal worth $54.375 million, with a maximum value of $57.735 million. But in practical terms, year 1 is a fully guaranteed $12 million contract for the 2026 season, with up to $3 million in additional performance incentives, tied to snap percentages, and whether the Chiefs make the playoffs or reach the Super Bowl. The final 2 years of the deal are structured as what are called dummy years, designed specifically for salary cap management. They spread the dead money across future years, and give Kelce a built-in exit ramp to retire cleanly after 2026 if he chooses. In other words, the Chiefs locked in Kelce for 1 real season, gave him $12 million fully guaranteed, and built in total flexibility, so the franchise isn't stuck with a massive cap liability if he decides to hang up the cleats after year 14. Brett Veach has done a lot of clever things with contract structures during this dynasty, but this might be his cleanest piece of work. And Kelce himself? He did not drag this out. He said back in November that he wanted to do right by the Chiefs and resolve this quickly. He kept his word. There was a window where his representatives were expected to gauge outside interest, and teams in win-now mode were genuinely circling. But in the end, Kelce chose where he built his legacy. Chiefs Kingdom! Let's go, baby! It's official, Kelce said when the deal was announced. Excited for 2026, and just excited to put on a Chiefs uniform in front of you guys again. Let's get Arrowhead rockin'. And here is the real reason this signing matters beyond the emotional side. Kelce finished 2025 with 76 receptions, 851 yards, and 5 touchdowns, in a season where the Chiefs went 6-11 and Mahomes missed the final 3 games due to injury. Those numbers don't jump off the page statistically, but think about the context. A 36-year-old tight end, on a broken offense, with his quarterback missing, still posting nearly 850 yards. Owner Clark Hunt said it directly. Kelce can still play. He was one of the leaders on the offensive side of the ball, and there was no doubt in the organization's mind about bringing him back. When Mahomes returns healthy, and with a rebuilt offensive line in front of him, Kelce's familiarity and football IQ could be the difference between Kansas City being a wild-card contender and being a genuine Super Bowl threat again. And now for the most important story of the entire offseason. Patrick Mahomes. Here are the facts. Mahomes tore his ACL and LCL in his left knee during Week 15 against the Los Angeles Chargers on December 14, 2025. He had surgery the very next day in Dallas, an unusually fast turnaround, but it was done deliberately to get ahead of the swelling and begin rehab as quickly as possible. Surgeons confirmed there was no artery damage, nerve damage, joint surface damage, or meniscal damage. This was a clean repair of 2 ligaments. Standard ACL recovery is around 9 months. That would put Week 1 of the 2026 season, expected to kick off September 10th, right at the edge of his timeline. And every update since the surgery has been ahead of schedule. NFL insider Jay Glazer went on record saying Mahomes was in the training room doing rehab within 2 to 3 days of surgery, already getting his knee to 90 degrees of bend at that point. Patrick's different, Glazer said. His pain threshold is different. His work ethic is different. I would probably hedge on him being back sooner than the start of the season. Then, on March 25th, Mahomes himself posted a video of himself throwing a football in an indoor facility. The caption? Day by day. Great being able to throw the ball around today. The Chiefs' social team immediately reshared it. 3 months post-surgery, the man is already throwing. Mahomes' own stated goal is simple: be ready for Week 1, with no restrictions. His doctors have told him it is possible. ESPN's Adam Schefter confirmed he is progressing and tracking toward being ready for the season opener. The Chiefs were smart enough not to simply hope everything goes smoothly. They went out and acquired Justin Fields from the New York Jets, a veteran quarterback with 46 career starts, who now gets to learn from Andy Reid and sit in the same room as Mahomes. Fields is not a star-caliber starter at this point in his career, but he is a real professional backup with real experience. If Mahomes needs a game or 2, the Chiefs won't be handing the keys to an unknown practice squad guy. That matters. So let's step back and look at what Kansas City has actually done this offseason. They released Jawaan Taylor and addressed the offensive line failure head-on. They locked in Travis Kelce on a brilliantly structured contract that gives the franchise flexibility and gives Kelce a worthy final chapter. They have Patrick Mahomes, who just posted a throwing video 3 months after tearing 2 ligaments, targeting a Week 1 return. They added Justin Fields as legitimate insurance at backup quarterback. And they have 9 draft picks to continue building this roster. The 2025 season was a 6-11 disaster. There is no sugarcoating that. But look at the moves. This is not a franchise in panic mode. This is a franchise that knows exactly what went wrong, knows exactly what it needs to fix, and is executing with precision. The question is simple. Is this the foundation of a real bounce-back year, or are there still too many question marks around the offensive line and Mahomes' health to trust Kansas City in 2026? That is the debate Chiefs Kingdom needs to be having right now. Drop your answer in the comments below. Do you trust this roster to get Kansas City back to the playoffs in 2026? And if you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because we are going to be covering every move, every signing, and every draft pick from here all the way to training camp. Chiefs Kingdom, let's get it.